All right, folks, welcome back to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the chaotic yet fascinating world of air travel. Today, we're tackling the myriad of questions that pop up when you're at the airport. You know, it's like a maze out there, right? I mean, just think about it. You're standing there, bags in hand, and suddenly you're bombarded with questions like, where can I check in for my flight? It's like a scavenger hunt, but instead of treasure, you're just trying to find your gate.
Yeah. It's like, I always feel like I'm in a video game, trying to level up just to get to my flight. So like, can you check in online? I mean, that seems super convenient, right?
Absolutely. Checking in online is a game changer. It's like having a VIP pass to skip the long lines at the airport. You can do it from the comfort of your couch, sipping coffee, and then just show up at the airport, drop off your luggage, and boom, you're in. But, you know, it's important to check what time the online check-in closes. It varies by airline, but usually it's a few hours before your flight.
That's interesting. So like, what if I forget to check in online? Is there a kiosk for self-check-in?
Oh, for sure. Most airports have kiosks where you can check in yourself. It's like a mini robot assistant. You just follow the prompts, and voila, you've got your boarding pass. But here's a tip. If you're traveling with luggage, make sure you know where to drop it off. It's usually near the check-in area, but sometimes it can feel like a treasure hunt.
Haha, right. And what about luggage? Like, what's the weight limit for checked luggage? I always feel like I'm playing Tetris trying to fit everything in.
Oh, I know that struggle. The weight limit can vary by airline, but it's typically around 50 pounds for domestic flights. And if you're over that, get ready for some extra fees. It's like they're charging you for every extra ounce. I once had a suitcase that was 2 pounds over, and I had to start pulling out shoes in the middle of the airport. Talk about embarrassing.
Oh man, I can totally picture that. So like, can I carry this bag on board? What's the deal with carry-ons?
Great question. Most airlines allow one carry-on bag and one personal item, like a backpack or purse. But you've got to check the size restrictions because they can be pretty strict. And don't forget about liquids. You can't bring anything over 3.4 ounces in your carry-on. It's like a liquid puzzle you have to solve before you even get to security.
That's wild. So do I need to take off my shoes at security? I always feel like I'm in a weird dance trying to get through that line.
Yes, you do need to take off your shoes, unless you have TSA pre-check, which is like the golden ticket to a smoother experience. But if you're in the regular line, just be prepared to do a little shoe shuffle. And speaking of security, where do you place your electronics? They usually want your laptop out of your bag, right?
Right. It's like I'm juggling my shoes, my laptop, and my bag all at once. So what if I'm at the wrong gate? How do I find out where I need to be?
Ah, the classic gate confusion. Always check the monitors. They're your best friend. And if you're ever unsure, just ask an airport staff member. They're usually pretty helpful. And if you're at gate 12, but your flight is actually at gate 15, you might just have to sprint a little.
Haha, I can totally see that happening. So what if there's a delay? Like, how do I find out when my flight is actually leaving?
Delays can be a real bummer. You can check the airline's app or the airport monitors for updates. And if you're really in a bind, don't hesitate to talk to the airline staff. They can sometimes help you find an earlier flight or even change your seat if needed.
Wow, that's super helpful. So like, what if I want to upgrade to business class? Are there extra fees for that?
Yes, there are usually extra fees for upgrading, but sometimes you can snag a deal if there are empty seats. It's like a game of chance, and if you're traveling with kids, you might be able to board early, which is a lifesaver.
Oh, that's awesome. So what about after the flight? Like, if my luggage doesn't arrive, what do I do?
Ah, the dreaded lost luggage scenario. First, don't panic. Head to the Lost and Found office and file a report. They'll usually ask for a description of your bag, and if it's damaged, make sure to report that too. It's like a mini detective mission to find your stuff.
Haha, I love that analogy. So like, can I get a map of the airport? I always feel lost in there.
Definitely. Most airports have maps available at information desks, or you can find them online. It's like having a treasure map to navigate through the chaos. And if you're looking for a SIM card or a good duty-free shop, just ask around.
Wow, this is all so helpful. I feel like I'm ready to tackle the airport now.
That's the spirit. Just remember, it's all part of the adventure. Happy travels, everyone!